Alright, we're just waiting to get loaded right now, and then we'll be on our way to our delivery. So we're on our way to the parts store right now because I have a leaking airbag. My lift axle. I went to pull out of the pit. All of my air pissed out, and I just thought it was I didn't let it build up enough, I guess, before I pulled off. So I stopped. I pulled off to the side of the pit road, built the air back up, hit the brakes, and did a little analysis because I realized it was only occurring when I had my the tractor valve pushed in, the yellow valve. The way that this truck is set up is the lift axle only goes down when you're in drive. So it was only doing it when the truck was in motion, technically, or like when I was in gear. So we finally diagnosed it, me and the pit operator, and going to get a bag, and then I gotta head back to the shop, have the mechanic slap that in, and then depending, because it's 12:30 now almost, so depending on how long that takes, it's either going to be a long day or a short day. So we'll just have to wait and see how long it takes. But you know, that's trucking. So as you guys could see, that was not a fuel terminal, and I no longer haul fuel for the company I was hauling for. I now run a dump truck, and unfortunately it's an automatic, but it's 8 minutes from my house as opposed to 45 minutes. It wasn't my choice to leave, and it was their, quote, business decision. I had a sit down with the two big bosses about some of my concerns that were going on at the company, how they were kind of steering away from how they were when I first started, as far as, you know, pushing the envelope with DOT, and you know, being overweight and running outside of our range, our exempt range for not running logs. That was all just little tidbits. I mean, I brought it up professionally. It wasn't like a, you guys are idiots, you're doing this wrong. It was more so just, hey, you know, you guys are playing a dangerous game with DOT, and it's gonna come back and catch you one day. And you know, a lot of the trucks, they were falling behind on maintenance, and so, you know, there were just little things going on. Now I know that there's other things that go on behind closed doors where, like, not everything is, you know, for the driver. You know, there could be no money in the account, and I brought that up. I was like, I don't know whether you got 10 bucks in your account or 10 million. I was like, these are just the things I see as a perspective from a driver. You know, we need another mechanic because we only had the one. And so that was all just stuff that I brought up afterwards. The main reason that I had the conversation with them was because I was trying to see if I could work out a deal to go Monday through Friday instead of Tuesday through Saturday. I was missing out a lot on family time. I just kind of felt like my world was upside down. In the beginning, I know that there's going to be plenty of people that are like, you know, I've been running Saturdays 30 years, and good for you, you know, I mean, if it works for your schedule. But, you know, I was missing out on a lot of stuff, and, you know, running late and running hard, and also not having my Saturdays was kind of a drag. And, you know, they could have said no. And so they told me that they would work with me, and it would just take a little bit of time to get that situated and figured out. No problem. I mean, it wasn't like it was a dire necessity, like right then and there. You know, it was just, you know, I'd been there a year and a half, and I had just voiced my opinion saying how I was, you know, slightly unhappy with, you know, working Saturdays. I didn't mind doing like one Saturday every so often. It's just that every Saturday was an issue for me. And, well, I guess they didn't like what was going on, or I pissed somebody off, and, you know, 2 weeks later, there was a guy that was taking my shift, and I thought that it was all fun and dandy. And that Friday I came in when he was supposed to go on his own the next week, and I was told by the dispatcher that I was all done. And it is what it is. I wasn't really, pissed off or anything. It is their decision, but, it's God's plan. Obviously, He has bigger things in store for me. And it's funny, my pastor was talking about, like, a week or two prior, deciding of life choices on your own versus praying about it. And he was preaching about whether, the Lord's keeping you at a job that you hate, or whether He's trying to get you away from a job to move you somewhere else because you're being stubborn. And well, I received my message loud and clear. So, we're on to new things. We're at a company now that I'm obviously not planning on staying here for long term. However, if I were to, the way I've been treated in these 3 weeks so far is unmatched. So, really, I can't complain at all. And of course, I'm in a B truck, and it's an automatic. It's a nice B truck, though. It's a 2017 T880. But, it's just what God's got in store for you. That's kind of how things roll with the punches. And I wasn't really upset. I had my faith, and, I knew that He was going to provide. And this is the best part about being a trucker, especially in today's market. I got fired on Friday, August 2nd, at 7 o'clock in the morning. Drove all the way to work, got fired. By 3 p.m. that same day, I had 6 job offers. 6. Not like people reaching out to me. It was 6. Come work here. And I had talked to some of my buddies who are in finance and robotics and software engineering, and they were like, that's unheard of in our fields. They were like, I applied to over 100 jobs, hate where I am, and it's impossible to find another job, and here I am, I get fired from a job, because that's technically what happened, and I had 6 job offers lined up, and I had more people that were reaching out, not potentially with offers, but to at least talk to me. So that's one of the benefits of being, blue collar or trucking, whatever, because I'm sure all the other trades are kind of the same way. It's an employee market right now. But so we're on to new things. Trying to figure out. Dump truck it. We're back in a dirt truck. We're doing dirt work, so there'll be a little bit more of that stuff. We've got some interesting jobs that we're doing. So I guess it's a change of scenery for the videos. So I'm just gonna try and record what I can throughout the days, and just kind of go from there. And if I figure out some other stuff to say throughout the day, I will. But right now we're gonna get that bag, and then we're gonna head back to the shop, and then it's gonna be lunchtime. I have my little lunchbox plugged in, heating up. It's been heating up for the last 2.5 hours. So by the time we get to this parts store, it should be ready. So talk to y'all in a little bit. So so it's the next day, and yesterday was interesting. So I went to the store, the parts store, to go get the bag that I was told was going to be there, and they had no bags, and they told us that Friday morning, which is tomorrow morning, is the earliest that we were going to have them. Not a problem. So we put them on order, and then the boss man called me, told me to head up half hour the other direction to another shop, because he said that they believe that they have one in stock that they could throw in, because he wanted to do both at the same time. And so I went over there. Mechanic starts taking the truck apart, realized that the top plate for the bag actually rotted out, which was lovely, and there was a crack in it, which is where it was all the air was escaping from. Pulls that out, pulls another bag, and then realizes that it's too small. So he had another tri-axle that they were building with a brand new tag axle. So he ripped a bag off of that and then tried to throw it on, and it was going to fit, but the top studs were clocked at a different angle. So the bottom plate had 4 studs to mount it, but then the top plate, it was the wrong direction, I guess. So that didn't work. So then I was gonna have to go 30 minutes north, 45 minutes north, to go pick up another set of bags after I was going to have to drop my truck off at the shop, which was like 10 minutes away, hop in the dump truck, the F600, fly all the way up the 45 minutes, and then grab the bags, because there were 2 up there, and then boot and scoot the 45 minutes back, and then have our mechanic put them in. Well, needless to say, that didn't really happen, because
It should be pretty well cleared up by the time we get there.
beautiful. There was an accident on the way back in. So he takes the bag off, gives me the hardware because he realizes his bag isn't going to work. So I'm like, all right, no problem. Try to air the truck up. Well, there's another air leak. It happened to be the governor. The governor was bad. I couldn't air the truck up. Couldn't get it to move. So then they sent me to get picked up. So then I sat there for about an hour waiting, and then the mechanic at the shop rolls my truck out, and he said it was actually not as hard as he thought it was going to be to get it out. So then I called the big boss. Somebody was already on their way, but I told him that the truck was done. He's like, all right, no problem. Just bring it back to the shop and head home. We'll have a bag put in. And now we're here at today, and we're on load number 2. It's 8 o'clock. We're hauling with about 7 or 8 other trucks, mixtures of end dumps and triaxles. And so yeah, so we're just hauling. We'll try and get some footage today. It's really not much, but we'll see what we can do.